It is 106.5 The End, and Rozak here. Tell you what, man, way to start off a Monday. Then having Mel in here with two guys that she's just gawking at like a little schoolgirl going, oh, looky, looky. WWE superstars Kane and Daniel Bryan are in the studio with us. Welcome, guys.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Hey.
And, man, I tell you what, anytime WWE comes to Charlotte, it brings back for me a little bit of memories because the Carolinas have a nice tie into wrestling if you go back to the 80s. So this is what we like to call, Mel, this is like NASCAR and wrestling country.
Exactly.
It was sort of, I want to claim, birth of both sports here in the Carolinas.
Sure.
So it's kind of cool, man.
A lot of tradition, a lot of history.
Yeah, Arn Anderson was big here.
Oh, yeah. Back in the day.
Yeah.
And it's funny, a lot of these guys still hang around, still live here. Snuka still lives in town.
Ric Flair is still around.
Flair, you see him everywhere, right?
Arn still lives here.
Yeah.
Arn
Anderson
Anderson.
here. Yeah.
Now, of course, with you guys tonight at the Time Warner Cable Arena, Mel, we forgot. We want to make Kane feel at home and get some pyro. Do you have your lighter, at least?
I can go get it.
When this comes through town, and Mel and I are in our something or others age-wise, remember it as a kid, remember it as an adult. People have their first experience with WWE wrestling, and it stays with them for a long time. And tonight, it may be that person that may be 9, 10 years old. It may be that person that's 40, 50 years old that has their first experience with a WWE event. And this, has to sort of get with you guys and go, wow, we're sort of affecting somebody's experience tonight by doing what we do and doing it so well that it's got to come out and go, man, this makes me feel good to do what I do.
Yeah, I think the WWE live experience is second to none. I mean, I think it's one of the funnest atmospheres that you can possibly go to, even if you don't like watching wrestling on television. Like, for example, my sister is not a fan of watching wrestling on television. She's got 2 kids, she's busy, that sort of thing. But she loves bringing my little nieces to the shows because they have so much fun. It's just the pyro. Even though I hate Kane's pyro, the kids love it, right? It's just.
I hate your beard.
Wait a second. The other radio stations, all the female DJs were all saying how much they liked my beard.
To be nice.
What do you think? It's nice.
Like I'm going to say I don't like it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's lovely.
Yeah, she loves it. It's lovely.
And you know what?
Actually, did you use the beard to make your vest? Because it's...
I might have.
Now that's a skill that people can learn and explain.
Listen,
It'd be awesome. It'd be great.
I'm getting very into the homesteading movement and learning how to make my own stuff. So yeah, so
He's
what?
making his clothes out of his own hair.
When you're on the road as much as you guys are, I guess you got to pick up that skill.
Oh yeah. And I actually just bought a functioning composting toilet, so I'm going to be using my own stuff to grow my garden.
There you go. We have a nice, pleasant conversation. You have to
Wait a second. I think this should be brought out into the open. The idea of using our own.
There are some things which should not be brought out to the open, and that's one of them.
What, food growing? Compost. It's a natural
Compost
cycle.
is fine, but not when you do your own compost using your own
Stuff.
That's why they have composting toilets.
See, you never thought you'd get this kind of information when you have WWE superstars in the studio.
This is what I deal with every day.
This is what I deal with. I'm trying to open people's minds. I'm trying to broaden people's perspectives. And all I get is closed-minded Kane. That's what we all call him in the back. Closed-minded Kane. Because he's not open to anything.
But no. I don't make my own clothes out of my own. It's great, like if you mend your clothes yourself, but not using your own hair. That's just strange. It's weird.
He's just bitter because he
and
can't
then,
grow facial
composting.
hair. He's not manly enough to grow his own facial hair.
I wear a mask.
Yeah.
I don't need facial hair.
Right,
and I think actually it exposes it. On your own part, it's sort of an inferiority complex, really.
Wait, how dare you?
You're taking a turn now. It's like being in the same room with William Wilcox. I don't know what the hell's going on.
This is classic because, Mel and I have been doing this for a long time. When you have bands in here, the bands, number one, are normally hungover.
True.
This is the middle of the night for them at 9 o'clock in the morning. So they roll in and we're like, hey, guys, how have you been? And every band member goes, all right.
Fine.
Good.
Or they shake their head. And I'm like, dude, it's radio. You got to talk a little bit.
By the way, I have a voice for radio. I get told that all the time.
You do have a voice.
Have a face.
Wait a second. I feel like I have a voice for radio and the looks for television.
You have a voice for NPR. Now you have a buzz.
Here we are on NPR.
Here we are.
The weather today is...
And later today, I'll explain how you can mend your socks with your own hair.
Kane and Daniel Bryan, our guests in the studio right now. WWE Monday Night Raw at the Time Warner Cable Arena. Guys, and I'm going to get your perspective first, Kane. You know, you've been doing this for a while now.
Quick story.
At the last radio station, we walk in, and the first thing the DJ says is, "Hey, are you that same Kane from the 90s?"
In all seriousness, like, I meet people that are grown people, like, have jobs and everything and careers, and I watched you when I was like 8, and I'm always like, oh, please don't say that.
Yeah, I'm 31, and I watched him when I was 15.
All you have to do is say you started very young. That's all
I'm
you
seasoned.
have to say. Yeah.
Season better. I never call anybody old. I never call anybody, and even with bands or other people that we have in here, I'm like, you're not old. It's just you've been doing this for a while, and that's some damn good things about you.
Okay, I dislike Kane to an enormous degree, right? But I will say this.
I'm great. You should like me.
Regardless of anything, for how long he's been doing this, he's remarkably in good condition. I mean, most people who have been doing it this long physically, it's very tough on your body.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's why we say, you have to go out and get trained. Don't try this at home, that sort of thing. But the things that he's able to do in the ring at his size, it's incredible.
Did we just have like a breakthrough?
No.
I think we might have.
Okay, so I've
I've
never discounted how good he is in the ring. My problem is that he's an idiot.
I'm not an idiot. He's really good in the ring too. He's awesome for his size. He does stuff that's amazing, and everybody thinks, Daniel Bryan, he's a little guy and he can't take. He's legitimately one of the toughest guys around. He just never brags about it or anything like that. But you mend your socks with your own hair.
Okay, to be normal in a sick society is to be sick yourself. Okay, here's some philosophy for you on the radio station, right?
So what am I then?
I don't know. You're not normal.
I'm really messed
up.
up.
You're not normal either.
I'm like the sanest person around by your definition.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of twisted and normal society, a lot of let's call we'll call them fans of the WWE may be a tick or two shy of having a little reality check needed. I've seen this firsthand. I watch these fans. Mel,
I went to the last WW Raw when it was in town, and I was shocked. It wasn't kids that were up front screaming.
No, it's the damn adults that go nuts.
No, it wasn't even adults. It was somebody's grandmother. There were grannies out there, man, and I'm talking older than my parents.
Daniel
hardcore.
is big with the grannies.
It freaked me out. I'm like,
borrow
what the
their
hell?
yarn.
But how much fun were they having?
Oh, it was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I watched the crowd. Watching the crowd's almost as good as watching you guys. Because the crowd is nuts. I mean, it's a great time.
We seriously have the best fans
in
the world. We really do. And sometimes they get quite exuberant, which is okay because, the way I look at it is, people are looking for an escape from reality, and we provide that, and we give a great service, and if they can escape their everyday problems or whatever, that's great, and that's what we try to do.
Well, now, and you do it well. And how do you guys deal with this? You have WWE it is a very finite line of love, hate for the WWE superstars, and when the fans hate you, they let you know. And when fans love you, vice versa, they let you know.
Everybody hates Daniel. Not only the fans, everybody. Okay.
But sometimes being hated is the funnest part.
I know, that's what I was going to ask.
So when my music hits, for example, and I hear people booing as soon as my music hits, or when I come out, people chant yes, which I hate. I hate when people chant yes. I say no, right? It's a weird, convoluted thing. Anyways, but internally it makes me smile right before
you're ready to go out.
Yeah, and it's amazing because the energy and enthusiasm is so contagious. As far as like you said, sometimes the people watching is more enjoyable than anything, but you can't help but be sucked in.
Yeah.
You can't help but be for all of a sudden for one night to go out there and be like my sister, who's the most tame person on the planet, is out there going, yeah! It's fun to just go out there and lose control a little bit.
Muhammad Ali was, in my opinion, the greatest boxer ever, not just because he was a great boxer, but also because he was the biggest box office draw, and he was a showman, and he got his shtick from Gorgeous George. That's where he learned to be, originally Ali was the bad guy who, was the arrogant dude, and that made a lot of money because people paid to see him get beat up, which he never did because he was so good.
Now, do you guys go to, and I know you're on the road a lot, but do you go and go, oh man, we're going to be in Cleveland tomorrow. I wonder if that guy is. Do you remember fans?
Yes.
Do you have those? Do you have those fans that come to every event?
There's actually a dude that used to come to, or he still does come to a lot of shows in Texas, that we gave the nickname Sign Guy, and we used him in some of our promotional stuff because he was such a great fan and a really good dude too. Actually, it turns out.
Well, speaking of great fans, you guys deserve a pat on the back, and when I say you, I mean you as the WWE superstars, but also as WWE in general. The amount of charity and the amount of cool things that you do outside the ring so far surpasses, I think, what any other sporting event group of athletes do. I mean, you guys, and Kane, like I said, you can attest to this. The things that, how many different NFL players do you see, or basketball players go overseas, visit the troops? I mean, you guys as WWE superstars do a hell of a lot. And give me some of your experiences on what you've done with that.
Well, the WWE does do a lot. Right now we have a program called Be a Star, which is an anti-bullying campaign, which is a really big deal. We partner with folks in Hollywood. We also have tonight. People will see that the middle rope is pink, and
cool.
Also, a lot of the guys have pink wristbands. Daniel wears one. And on the ramp coming down to the ring, we have the Susan G. Komen breast cancer awareness logo. We've been partnering with them. We also do a lot of stuff with Make-A-Wish. John Cena has gotten a couple awards with Make-A-Wish. So, yeah, WWE really encourages. We other do stuff that people probably never hear about either. Unfortunately, when they had the wildfires in Colorado Springs, over the summer, we had a show in Denver. We had to cancel our show in Colorado Springs because it was just not feasible for us to do it. But the WWE gave $10,000 to the Red Cross, whatever, Colorado Springs. So, a lot of stuff that people never even hear about because we don't talk about it.
What do you guys miss? First thing when you get a couple days at home, what's the first thing you do?
Sleep. Sleep is the first thing.
In your own bed. It's like, wait a minute.
Sometimes, I'll just wake up in my own bed, and this is the worst part, is you wake up in your own bed and you wonder where you are because you're there that infrequently.
Wow.
So, I think as of last week, I'd already done 182 shows this year. Wow. So,
Mel and I work 5 hours a day, and we think that's rough.
Wiped out. Wiped out.
Yeah, catch up on stuff. It's sort of pile. It's weird because by the time you catch up on things that have piled up when you've been gone, you're already leaving and you never really feel like you've ever gotten caught up. So.
Wow.
Yeah. I like to go have cupcakes. I don't worry about the getting caught up on stuff. I like to. I live in San Diego, right? So bills. Who needs to pay bills? Who needs to catch up on stuff?
I'm gonna go eat cupcakes.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to the beach. I'm gonna go eat cupcakes. I'm gonna make a vest out of my own beard hair. This is what I'm gonna do with my time off.
Or are you gonna crochet a vest for Josie's?
Right. Oh, I got this new French bulldog.
Oh no!
She is the cutest. So for Halloween, we dressed her up as a butterfly.
Why didn't you dress her up as me? That would have been awesome.
All right, I'm a psycho with the dogs, and I won't even trust my dog. You beat me now. You're more of a chick than me. So
more of a chick? More of a chick? Wait a second. I'm going to have to stand up for myself because I feel like I'm being bullied here. I'm being bullied here. One, I have a huge beard. What kind of woman could grow a beard like this? Two,
I haven't been to Gastonia yet.
I am probably the manliest man on the WWE roster. Wouldn't you agree, Kane?
No.
There wasn't a pause there. There wasn't even a brief moment.
By that.
I mean, I'm the manliest wrestler.
You don't bathe. I mean, that might be one thing.
That's manly. That's manly as can be. I'm saving water. Have you heard about the water crisis? Have you heard about the water crisis? The Southwest Aquifer in the United States is less than halfway full. What are we going to do about that? I'm not going to shower. That's what I'm.
We were just talking about this morning. Leonardo DiCaprio. They said that he doesn't shower. He goes for days without showering because he's a big environmentalist. And what does he do? He puts his garbage in his freezer.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Leo.
Stuff
So it doesn't stain.
Me and Leo.
And then eventually you can like scrape off all the dirt that's been accumulating on your skin, and you can replenish the topsoil.
In the past, until the last like 60 years, how often did people actually bathe? And you know what? They survived just fine. You know, like I don't need to bathe. I don't need to bathe every day to
They
please
survived just fine, but they didn't really smell too good.
to please you. I don't need to please you. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to rub sagebrush all over my body.
You'd be pleasing your fellow WWE athletes if you would bathe once in a while. I don't know, man.
I'm gonna rub sagebrush.
I'm going to leave that one
Yeah.
alone.
We just added a new segment to the show. We'll call it Environmental Thoughts with Daniel Bryan.
That's right.
Each and every weekday at 9:30.
I'm gonna rub catnip all over you at the animal shelter and see what happens. That should be
And do you know what?
interesting.
Do you know what? Cats love me. They do. All sorts. Lions.
Lions love me.
Yeah. Panthers.
Yeah, the most manliest man on the WWE lineup, Daniel Bryan.
The
And,
only guy who
Random
would go.
conversation ever.
The only guy who would go into a lion's den covered in catnip. That's the only guy with that kind of guts.
Now, if you were to do that,
You'd have to call me the
I
manliest
would
man.
be the manliest man in the world.
You can get back to us and let us know how that works. So, really.
Yeah, that sounds like a new reality show.
yeah, the heck with Honey Boob or any of that. We're going to cover you in
Absolutely.
catnip, send you into the
I'd watch it.
Philadelphia Zoo and see what
Duck
happens.
Dynasty, forget about that. The Doomsday Preppers. Catnip Man.
Kane and Daniel Bryan, my guests right now. WWE Monday Night Raw, along with the action, also comedy at Time Warner Cable Arena tonight. And you can get your tickets.
We're very serious.
But, yeah,
The two of us.
once-
We're very, very serious.
It's so serious.
Yes. But it is going to be a great show at Time Warner tonight. You got John Cena's going to be there.
Yeah.
Ryback's going to be there.
The
CM
Ryback
Punk's
will
going to
be
be there. Kofi Kingston, Dolph Ziggler, Team Rhodes Scholars, who actually
Randy
the one
Orton.
thing we can agree on, Randy Orton, the one thing that we agree on is Team Rhodes Scholars is that they're just brutal, terrible. So
For guys who are called Team Rhodes Scholars, they're not very smart.
so it's going to be a really good time.
Awesome. Well, guys, we appreciate you stopping by. Mel will talk about this forever now that she knows exactly what is in Daniel Bryan's beard.
Absolutely.
It is catnip. WWE Time Warner Cable Arena tonight, Monday Night Raw. Guys, thank you very much for stopping by and hanging out with us.
Thank you.
All right.